Back Row Ministry, the world premiere, Mr. Mahdi coming back at you live and direct. Wanted to do a quick video on some of my personal picks. This is all opinion of the worst movies of 2024. Just a year in review, and I'm gonna start trying to do these every year. I'm a big movie fan for those that know. So I'm gonna look at the worst movies of 2024, in my opinion, of course. Um, the waste of time movies. These are movies on my list that don't even waste your time watching. I would never, even when I'm bored, I wouldn't watch this crap. And then the best movies of 2024, with a couple of honorable mentions here and there, but just some of the movies that I enjoyed for 2024. 2024 had a lot of movies. Some I might end up watching, but I didn't watch a lot of movies in 2024. I didn't feel it was that competitive as 2023 was, but just wanted to start doing a piece on some of my favorite films, some of the films I just why did they make them, and then some of the films that why even waste your time watching that garbage. So at number 5 for the worst movies of 2024 is Doom Part 2. And Doom Part 2 is on this list. Don't get me wrong. It is beautifully shot. The director is great. I mean, his cinematography is wonderful. But when we have these literary books, when we have books adapted from literary masterpieces, we have to stick to what the author was presenting, because if you don't, you're going to take away key things that are needed in the story. And that's what happens with Doom Part 2. When we try to compress these movies, Doom 1 was great. Great leading up to the desert and the introduction to meeting the Freeman. I think Doom 2 should have been just focused on the Freeman and building up to the revolution that was going to happen on planet Arrakis. And then we should have had a Doom 3. He could have got away probably with 6 of these movies. I mean, it's a very marketable franchise if you do it right. But when we get to Doom 2, I don't know what happened. It's like, was there a conversation that maybe we need to do Doom 3 to kind of conclude the first story of Paul moving into Doom Messiah? We get to Doom 2, and then suddenly, we need to go do Doom Messiah next. So to do that, they just compress the Doom saga. So parts and things that you need are just placed into this, and things just don't make any sense. And then it just gets stupid. One stupid part is Jessica, the Bene Gesserit, knows nothing about the water of life on Arrakis and the sandworms, which, if you watch the Cinemax series of Dune, and we were talking about the women of Dune and Dune Prophecy, they talk about moving, how things moved into them using the water of life. Jessica knows nothing about this water of life. Part 1, that makes the movie totally stupid. Part 2, that makes it really totally stupid, is that Jessica's daughter, Paul's sister, is not born in this. So we don't have the birth of Jessica's daughter, which is an intricate part of Doom Messiah. You need her in this movie. You need her to kill the Baron. Instead, we had Paul killing the Baron. It's like, where the hell did that come from? Why is Paul killing the Baron? This destroys Doom Messiah. Okay. Third part that makes this movie totally stupid is Shani. Shani, whatever you want to call Zendaya's character, rides off on a worm. She's pissed and then she's totally ignorant throughout the whole movie. She always stood by Paul, no matter what, but she always warned Paul about, this prophecy, and, people believing it at this level is a danger. She always warned Paul about some of the dangers of where the course and path he was taking the Freeman on, but she always stood by her man. Intricate part, because as we go on inside of the Doom saga with Paul, they have a child, and that child is murdered. We don't see this child. They try to smash together the love. It just totally is wasted. And then here comes the agenda that women have to be strong and, women don't tolerate. So she's mad because he gets with the emperor, which if you watch the miniseries and the miniseries that Sci-Fi delivered is one of the best adaptations of Dune. They do a masterful job. I tell anybody, you can watch it on YouTube. It is a masterful piece of work. They do Dune Messiah or Children of Dune, which they tie in to Dune Messiah. Masterful miniseries. Definitely offers great credit and respect for the work that was done. But this movie, no respect for the work. Beautifully shot, no respect for the work at all. They try to rewrite the book. And they're going to mess it up because you need certain things for Dune the Messiah to play out. Paul's sister is an intricate part of Dune Messiah and Children of Dune and her mental health. Those things are important and you just wipe them out. You got Shani, she needs to be there because she's a very intricate part of Dune Messiah. Now she has no relationship with Paul, and that's, the meat of where we're going with the God Emperor. So they just totally jack up the story by trying to rewrite literature. Stop. If you respect literature, stick to the literature. Even the parts that are like, how am I going to do this? Hey, it's a movie. No one's going to... It's a movie. It's supposed to be fantasy. Come on. He totally jacks that part up. He jacks up a classic movie. Once again, if you really want to see Dune, go to Sci-Fi channel and watch the Dune Sci-Fi version. It is the best version of Dune. He totally jacked it up. One of it's number 5 on my list because it's beautifully shot. It would have been a little bit higher, but I gave it credit where credit was due. Number 4 on my list is a movie I just saw, and that is Amelia Perez. It's got an exploration part mark on the post. So Perez. And it's a movie about a cartel kingpin who decides that he wants to have a sex change operation and he wants to make these changes because he feels like a woman inside. And he just wants to make this change, become this new person, and totally wipe away that he's a murderous piece of crap. Pretty much that's where we are with this film. Zoe Saldana is in the movie. It's a musical, so it's a watch where if you're not in the musical, it's going to be a tough watch. Plus, majority of the the musical is in Mexican, is in Spanish. So it's a I don't know if it's a Mexican musical that was created. I don't know. I got to look that up. But that's the key story. The cartel kingpin has a wife that's paid by Selena Gomez and 2 children. So that's pretty much the thing that, the cartel kingpin turns into a woman, wants to come back and have a relationship with her children. So lies and says that the cartel kingpin was her cousin or he was the aunt or something. It's something that was made up. But the movie is just stupid. It's stupid because of the transsexual transitioning part. For the most part, if a woman has her surgery to be a man, usually she's still trying to date women. If a man has his surgery to become a woman, he's trying to date men. That's pretty much the science of it. Maybe I'm wrong. But in this movie, I don't know if the main character that was playing Amelia Perez is a lesbian. I don't know. I really don't know. But they throw in this love scene where Amelia Perez makes a transition and then just goes to date a woman. So my thing is, why not just stay with your wife and your kids? There was a story I saw like that where, the guy had a conversation with his wife. He was uncomfortable. He was more comfortable dressing up as a woman. It was another movie like that where the person was uncomfortable and they made the transition. They stayed with their wife. I mean, they liked women. They were sexually attracted to women, but they just wanted to dress up like a woman. They wanted to transition over. So why not have that conversation with your wife? Hey, and over the years, you guys disappear and have this conversation and work on this part. We don't see that. We just get Amelia Perez turns into a woman, Uh, starts sleeping with another woman, gets mad at the wife because she moved on with her life like she should, and then the maniac comes back out when she can't control the situation with the children, and there we go. So kind of all over the place with the philosophy. I don't think the transgender community is going to be happy with this philosophy. I don't think they will be. And then we know we deal with this idea of you can change your sex and change who you are. No, you can't. I think that's what the movie's really trying to point at. You can try to, but you are who you are. And inside of this, yes, you do hurt people sometimes. That's a big part of the movie. So it's got some good qualities, but it's just a bad movie from the point of, it just makes no sense. Why go through all this just to date women? I mean, you could have just stayed with your wife and your children, disappeared, and worked on having this conversation with your wife. It just made no sense. It was just made no sense. And a big reason why I got it as number 4, one of the 4 most worst movies of 2024. Zoe Dalzano is the lead character in the movie, yet she's being portrayed as the supporting actress. No, she's not. She's the lead. The person who was the lead is not that good. I mean, she's there. We see her, but she moves nothing. I mean, her acting does nothing for me. This movie is Zoe Saldana's movie. She did a great job in the movie, but the movie does nothing for me. It's all over the place. These themes are just totally stupid. If you're a murderer or you're a killer, I know a lot of killers. They're still killers. They might have changed their life and done some good things, but you're gonna always be a killer. You're gonna always be a killer. Good movie for that is Unforgiven. Yeah, he changed his life, but he was still the same killer he was yesterday. So don't get it twisted. You can change whatever you want to change. You're always going to be who you are. We try to work on becoming a better person, but we can't run from the past and run from who we are. So those are the good parts of the movie, but the movie's just all over the damn place. It's just too much all over the place. Number 3, worst movie of 2024. It's a lot of movies I've seen that can go on this list, but Abigail tops the cake. Why do they continue to make these stupid horror movies? And sometimes you look at these movies like, why are we putting... And I've really started to watch a lot of these horror movies. I really have not been impressed with the horror genre. And the horror genre makes a lot of money. Now, I could have easily put Smile 2 as the worst movie, one of the worst of 2024. Smile 2 had some parts, but just too many jump scares. It could easily go on this list. So, that's the honorable mention of one that could have been one of the worst of 2024. But instead, we put Abigail on there. Vampire movies are always popular movies. We've always had cheesy vampire movies, but this one just tops the cake because the people in this movie are so stupid. When you just go through levels of stupid, a movie's bad when you want the whole cast to be murdered. That's how bad this movie was. So we definitely wanted the whole cast to be murdered in this film, and it's just stupid. I mean, these people can't put 2 and 2 together that something about this doesn't make sense. And they just couldn't. They just couldn't. I mean, just totally dumb. We get our, what's my man, little short African-American brother. Giancarlo Esposito's in the movie. Why? I have no idea. Giancarlo is working. That's one thing I can say about Giancarlo. He is working. He is working. He is a working actor. He is a successful working actor. Sometimes you're bumping a Giancarlo on a train in New York, but he's a working actor. He's all over the place right now. But this is a waste of time movie for Giancarlo. Why did they have to film this? That's all I can say. Why did they have to film this? It made some money. Totally stupid movie. I watched it. I don't know why. I was intrigued to see, how they would pull it off. And it did not surprise. Totally stupid. The little girl that played Abigail, pretty good actress. I want to see her development and she moves through her career. I would like to see her still in some roles while she's young to see if she can play a more challenging role in this. So, because I really think there's some potential there, but I want to see her play a little bit more of a challenging role. So I'm going to keep an eye on her in 2025 to see if she plays a little bit more of a challenging role that kind of allows her to show what she can do, because I think she has a lot of potential. But this movie was just a waste of time. She probably had fun with it because it was stupid, but it's just a total waste of time. One of the worst movies of 2024. Number two on the list, Speak No Evil. Trailer for Speak No Evil was pretty good. You know, you're thinking James McAvoy, they were gonna pull something off in this that was gonna surprise and something different. I don't know what Speak No Evil is trying to do. I don't understand it. It's a totally just dumb movie. The characters are totally stupid. I mean, you go over somebody's house, you don't even know these folks. I mean, the whole premise of the movie is stupid. Ain't nobody going on nobody's house they met. Hey man, come over our house. Dude, I don't even know you. Number one. And number two, if you go over somebody's house and the sheets are nasty and they ain't even took time to make the bed and they want you to sleep on that, should that not be a sign? Nah, we need to go. Nah, we need to go. Come on, y'all, let's get back in the college ride out. Y'all don't want to stay? Nah, we don't want to stay. We gotta go. That should have been a sign of the next day you in the car, you riding out. I mean, that's just what it is. Then when you see they want your daughter to sleep isolated from you, you don't know these people, that's a sign to ride out. Another thing is your daughter's in the bed with a guy with his drawers on. You ride out, your daughter goes into a panic attack over some dumbass animal and you turn around. It's just totally stupid. It makes parents look stupid, weak. And the other part of the movie is how they made the father just a weakling and a punk and a chump. And mom is the superhero of the movie, but she just as dumb and complacent as the father. This was a total waste of time for James McAvoy. He's a great actor, definitely can play the bad guy, but he really needs those roles where he can shine in. He needs those roles where he can shine. He's allowed to do it. So I do want to see James play the bad guy a little bit more. I would like to see James play the good guy. I think James can also get into some action roles. I mean, we need to move James around and get him into some action stuff. I mean, we haven't really seen James really be able to flex his muscle. Let's get a character for James that he can ride for a couple of years. I think that'll be good. This was not it. This is a total waste of James McAvoy's talent and time. And it was a waste of our time as movie viewers to have to watch this garbage. Speak No Evil is just totally ridiculous and totally stupid. Number one horrible movie of 2024, without a doubt, Gladiator 2, wannabe Gladiator movie. Total waste of time. The only good thing about the movie is Denzel. Denzel just needed a job, I guess, to be in this crap. They keep talking about this kiss that I never really paid attention to. It really was not that impactful. And I think they only did it to try to get you to watch the movie. I did not see this gay kiss. I mean, Muslim men kiss each other on the cheek all the time. People from other countries do this. So what are you talking about? So I don't think, I didn't see it. So I think they just wanted people to watch this garbage. This movie was totally whack and boring. Totally whack and boring. Totally is really badly written. Has no place, no flow. We got characters. And the problem with Gladiator 1 is a great movie, but historically it's so inaccurate. It's just horrifying. Gladiator 2 had a lot of historical characters. They just didn't know what to do with them. They just could not, put it together. So they tried to be Gladiator 1. That's what happened to Gladiator 2. And they did a horrible job at it. They just were a replay of a movie that we already saw. Beautifully shot. Ridley Scott did a job beautifully shooting it. But the story he had was just straight street trash. Straight garbage. Totally boring movie. Total ripoff. Wannabe movie. And it just did nothing for anybody. There were people who enjoyed Gladiator 2. I'm not one of them. I just think they just tried too hard to be Gladiator. It's one of the worst movies of 2024. If you have to watch it for free. Do not go to the theater to waste your time or your money on Gladiator 2. This next set of movies are movies I say don't even waste your time watching at all. Stevie Wonder shouldn't even try to watch these movies, and he's blind. That's what I'm trying to get at. These are waste your time movies. Don't even turn them on. You already know it's garbage and crap. Why waste your energy or intelligence watching these movies? So at number 5, Rebel Moon Part 2. If you wasted your time and saw Rebel Moon Part 1, why would you watch Rebel Moon Part 2? I think that says it all right there. Rebel Moon Part 1 was total garbage, horribly written. Zack Snyder totally wasted his time with this. You talking about he had Star Wars and this and that. And no, Zack, stop. This is garbage. He's going to do a part 3. After part 1, why even waste your time with part 2? The script of part 1, the fake Magnificent Seven, total garbage. Nobody wants to see this. I mean, why even put yourself through it? I mean, as soon as I was through with part 1, I already had promised myself I wasn't watching part 2. So I'm not even wasting my time with it. Total waste of TV time. Netflix should be ashamed of themselves for giving Zack Snyder this much money to throw in the garbage. He could have gave me that and 100,000 other people that money, and we could have put it to better use than Zack Snyder did with this gutter garbage. Don't even waste your time. Don't even turn on your TV. You might mess up your remote. Even thinking about the thought of watching this should make your head hurt. Rebel Moon is number 5 on the list. Number 4, don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy moments. Of course, is Maxine. Why is this movie here? Why is there a Maxine? So remember, this comes from the trilogy of X and Pearl. X was the first movie, and then we got the prequel with Pearl. Pearl is an excellent movie. X is an excellent movie. Why do we need Maxine? The character at the end of the movie got away. Okay, what do we need this movie for? Why are we watching this? Why are we going to put ourselves through this? Who cares? So I think sometimes they're doing so good with certain movies, they got a plot together, and they don't know when to stop. And that's typical movies. You know, Friday the 13th part 99,022. Like I say, horror movies make a lot of money. But sometimes you need to know when to say when. Halloween part 77. Come on, stop. There was no need for Maxine. We had Pearl, a classic. We had X was going to be a classic. Let those movies do what it is they do and leave it alone. We don't need any more. So definitely total waste of time on the list. Part 3 is Maxine. Don't waste your time with this. There's no reason for the movie. Why even waste your energy watching it when it was over after X? Number 2 on the list, The Fall Guy. Now, I grew up in the time of The Fall Guy. With my man, the $6 million man, played The Fall Guy. Why do we need this? Why do we need this right here? We have an original. It was a TV show. It was a great TV show. Why do we need this? Why do we need this Fall Guy movie? How can you turn the Fall Guy into a movie? Do we even know how the Fall Guy became a man for hire? Nobody knows, even on a TV show. So why are we wasting time with the Fall Guy movie? If you want to watch the Fall Guy, see if you can go find the Fall Guy TV show somewhere. Maybe on Tubi, it'll pop soon where you get a chance to watch the Fall Guy. And I'm forgetting who was the Fall Guy. He was a $6 million man. And I see his face. The $6 million man was the Fall Guy. All right, so this is the original Fall Guy. If you can find the original Fall Guy anywhere, you're good to go. Lee Majors played the Fall Guy. He was Colt Seavers. We don't know how Colt Seavers became this guy who they just hired to solve crimes. We don't even know, but it was entertaining back in my time because it's a movie from back in my time. Of course, I'm sorry about that. It's a movie from back in my time. It's a TV show. It was a great TV show. I mean, I don't even think it lasted that long. So even the TV show wasn't that good. So why do we need a movie when the TV show didn't even last that long? Come on, stop. They need to stop trying to turn everything into a movie because everything can't be a movie. This thing did not even make that much money, if any money at all. It was a flop. So please stop. Please stop. This is another one of those please stop trying to make things in the movies that don't need to be movies, moments. Don't waste your time going to see this. You want to see anything, go watch Lee Major's TV show, probably more enjoyable. This is just a waste of your time, and you're going to be doing better things with your eyeballs. At number two, another total waste of time is gender movies. Gender movies. And what I mean by that is agenda movies, not gender, but agenda movies, where you're trying to sell agendas. So, The Omen is a classic. It's a classic movie. One of the best horror movies ever made is The Omen. And the first Omen is about a child. It's about a little ass boy. It ain't about no girl. It's about a little ass boy. So now we got the first Omen. Please stop. We don't need this. Just because you put a woman in a role does not mean everybody's going to flock to go see it. Just because you put a guy in certain roles don't mean people are going to flock to go see it. This movie did not make that much money. It was not that good. And who cares? We already had The Omen. We already had The Omen. It's a classic movie. Leave the classics alone. Stop bothering them. Stop thinking you can redo masterpieces. You can't. You don't see people trying to repaint the Picasso. Stop it. This is what directors do. This is what some of these producers do. This is what some of these companies do. And they just make horrible movies. The Omen is a great movie because it's about a little boy, and the people around this little boy are the bad people. The little boy doesn't even know he's evil until the damn third movie. Stop it. Stop it, Hollywood. This sucked. Don't waste your time watching garbage. You want to see something good? Watch the original Omen. Watch the Omen 2, Damien. And then, of course, watch The Final Conflict. It is a trilogy of masterpiece. This is trash. And the number one don't waste your time moment movie of 2024 is Jake Gyllenhaal trying to be Patrick Swayze. Stop it. Stop it. This is one of those definitely stop it moments. Sometimes movies go too far. Leave masterpieces alone. There is no reason to remake Roadhouse. You don't have to and you can't. Patrick Swayze is Roadhouse. Roadhouse is Patrick Swayze. It is a classic. That's like you trying to remake Gone with the Wind. Stop doing this to movies. It's very disrespectful. You can't match what they did before. You can't match energy at that level. So this is totally waste of time. Waste of time moment. Waste of energy because they ain't going to be able to do anything that Patrick Swayze did in Roadhouse. That is a great movie. This is gutter garbage. It's nothing better than a movie about a bouncer. That's it. That's the whole premise of the movie. They too stupid to even make this movie a movie about a bouncer. They had to turn it into all these other things. Totally stupid. Total waste of time movie for 2024. This next set of movies. We had the waste of time. We had some of the worst. Let's talk about movies I did enjoy. So what were some of the best movies? There was a lot of movies out there. I know everybody has the personal mix. Some of y'all probably like these waste of time movies. Some of y'all may have liked some of the worst movies that I picked. But let's talk about the 5 best films that I saw, in my opinion. All this is opinionated, in my opinion, for 2024. So, number 1 was Juror Number 2. This is a movie directed by Clint Eastwood. Nicholas Walden in this movie. So he's in a couple of movies in 2024, a couple of horror movies in 2024. Plays in 2 vampire movies. He's actually in Nosferatu, and then he's in Renfield, which is a very entertaining movie. Stupid but entertaining. It's totally stupid. But he's also in Renfield. I forgot Renfield. But Juror Number Two is a great movie. I got it as number five. I think Clint Eastwood does a masterful job with the suspense in the movie, how they kind of roll out some of the plot points, roll out some of the moral and ethical points in the movie. All around great movie. Nicholas Vault is good with his character, a struggling alcoholic in the film, and kind of struggling with a decision. Those who are struggling from symptoms of addiction understand kind of Nicholas Vault's character. But then, from a 12-step standpoint, there's that conflict that if you're working a true program, do you have to follow the guidelines of the 12 steps? And I think that's the part that it kind of touches on, when we talk about the 12-step model. You're living your life a certain way. So there's things that, yes, you should be doing. Honesty and rigorous honesty is one of those things. And we see that the main character kind of struggles with rigorous honesty. So he's a guy who's been placed on a jury that where a man could be accused of a situation that he may be liable for, the juror himself. So I'm not going to say much about it. You need to watch this movie to kind of get a feel for it. But beautifully acted, a lot of suspense, a good thriller, a lot of moving parts, but that definitely has a lot of moral and ethical questions from a 12-step perspective, as a 12-step program perspective. If anybody you know in the 12-step program, this would be a great movie for them to watch because it really allows people to see, okay, how do you properly work the program and how do you feel about some of the decisions the main character made if he is indeed working a 12-step program. So Juror Number Two, I put it as number five on my list. It's one of the best films I saw in 2024. Number four, I picked the movie Heretic. Heretic is a horror film. Hugh Grant plays a really, really strange guy in this movie, but it talks about religion and it talks about the philosophy and the theology of various religion and faith being tested. And when you're out there trying to bring people to a religion, be wary of the houses that you come into contact with and the people you come in. You don't need to be going to anybody's house. But two young ladies, Christians, they out there trying to spread the word. I think they're the Church of the Latter-day Saints trying to spread the words and spread their teachings. And they just run up on the wrong guy who tests their faith and test their belief system. It's a real good movie when it comes to that. A lot of twists, a lot of turns in the movie. Definitely you have to watch it to kind of get a feel for it. But one of the best movies of 2024. I put it on number four. It's not a lot of actors in the movie, so you got to be comfortable with more talking and dialogue movies to enjoy this. A lot of people, they need action. I can do talking and dialogue movies every day because the talking and dialogue is going to move the movie. So I think they do that well in this movie. You got a lot of twists and turns at the end, but definitely one of the best movies of 2024. And you should definitely give it a look if you're into dialogue movies where they do a lot of talking to kind of open up the plot and take you where the movie wants to take you. Number three movie, The Conclave. I got a chance to watch The Conclave. I had seen the previews for it. I was, definitely wanted to know what The Conclave was about. Didn't know until I watched it. And The Conclave is all around a great movie. Just the politics of picking up hope and all the twists and turns and the Catholics just backstabbing each other. Just all about the politics that goes into this process and the way that the process plays out. Great movie. A lot of parts where the characters are challenged, where their morals are challenged. Their willingness to give up everything to be the Pope. And it has one of the greatest twists that you're going to have in a movie that I've seen in years. You're not going to expect the twist. So it's not much I can say about The Conclave. Once again, it's a talking movie, so you gotta like dialogue movies, but a lot of great dialogue, a lot of great twists and turns, a lot of shadiness comes about with a lot of the priests. But one of the movies that the end will surprise you. It's definitely going to surprise you. Number two, I have Civil War. Civil War, beautifully shot movie. One of the best shot movies of 2024 that I saw. You got to see this in the theater. Um, Definitely shows a very dark side of the world, and what happens if America goes to this dark place. Beautifully acted. Some of the best lines of the year come out of 2024. I like the line where um, this character here asks the journalist, what type of Americans are you? You said you're American. What type of Americans are you? It is a lot of moving parts, action packed. The whole movie is action packed. Could be traumatizing for those who've been in a war zone. So if you've been in a war zone, I don't think this is the movie that, unless you're really, really in a good mental headspace for, that you should be watching, because it definitely can re-traumatize anybody who's been in a war zone. So just be mindful of that. I'm putting that out there. But all in all, one of the best movies of 2024. Didn't get a lot of flack as A24. A24 spent a lot of money on this movie, but it's worth the money. You got to see it. If you didn't get to see it in the movie theaters, you missed out, but you still can catch it. Beautiful movie. It just shows how bad things can get when countries, philosophically tear themselves apart. And the number one movie for me in 2024, one of my favorite movies of 2024, and it was a bounce back, but I had to take The Substance. This is the best film of 2024 in my opinion. Demi Moore is great in this. The other young lady, I forgot her name, but she's wonderful as well. Both of them, she has more. She has a little bit more screen time. Yeah, so Marguerite, I think it's Marguerite. What's it, Marguerite Boulay? But she's great. She's a young actress. She's great. She shares a lot of time with Demi Moore. But this is Demi Moore's time. This is physical horror, and Demi Moore. Both of them kind of play off with some of the stuff, but a lot of physical horror. So Demi Moore put herself through a lot to be in this movie, and it's some of her best work. I mean, if you've seen Demi Moore in a lot of stuff, this is her best work. This is her time. You always see an actress's moment, and this is her moment. And honestly, I think I like Zoe Saldana and Emily Perez, although the movie's horrible. But I really think that Demi Moore and the co-star here, Elizabeth, should and let me get this young girl's name right. I keep butchering the girl's name. Like when I don't get people. Margaret Qualley. I'm sorry, Margaret. I messed your name up. Margaret Qualley. But Margaret is great in this. And I really feel that her and Demi both deserve the award. I think she should get Best Supporting Actor, and I think Demi should get Best Actor for this. I think they both complemented each other quite well. But this is Demi's best work. A lot of people are talking about Nicole Kidman and Baby Girl, but I don't. It was so much physical acting in this that Demi put herself through. The makeup and having to wear some of that makeup. I think by far Demi did the best. It is a total psychological thriller, but it's true horror. The only thing about it, the end of the movie just goes wacko bajacko. It's kind of all over the place. That's the only part of the movie that I kind of was like, okay, what the hell is going on? But outside of that, great acting by both characters, and definitely to me stands out in this. Um, both of them did a great job, and I think personally both of them should definitely win best actress and best supporting actress for the job in the Substance. Substance, one of the best movies I saw in 2024. Will freak you out. Will freak you out. I remember seeing the previews for it in the movie theater, and I said, okay, this is something I'm definitely interested in, and it did not disappoint. Like I said, the only thing that got me was the end is kind of over the top, but outside of that, great movie, great overall movie. So there you are. So definitely five of the worst movies. I talked about it: Doom, Amelia Perez, Abigail, See No Evil, Total Garbage, Gladiator, just one of the worst movies of all time, and Gladiator 2 just horrible, and Doom Part 2 total disappointment in just how to mess up a literary masterpiece. Waste of time movies, Rebel Moon, Maxine. I don't even know what the hell or why they made that. The Fall Guy, another movie. Why are we making this? Don't waste your time watching that garbage. The first Omen, trying to mess with a classic because you want to play agenda politics. Um, and Roadhouse. Leave Patrick Swayze alone. That's all I gotta say. Don't mess with Patrick Swayze. Um, Juror number two, which is the best pictures. Juror number two is a movie that is great to watch. It's a much see. You can catch that now, I think, on Cinemax. Heretic, you can catch that now still in theaters, so you can catch Heretic. The Conclave, another brutally acted movie. Dialogue movies, but definitely they keep them their own pace and keep the excitement going. Conclave is one of those that definitely is going to surprise you. Civil War has the action in it and is a great movie because it keeps the action going and the plot is strong. The plot is strong. Civil War, definitely one of the best movies of 2024. But the Substance top Civil War. I like Civil War, but I definitely like Substance. These are two movies that I wanted to see, so that's why they are number two and number one. Anytime I see a preview of a movie that I wanted to see, then definitely I put them on top of my list. So Conclave, Civil War, and The Substance were three of the movies that when I saw the preview in the theater, I said, yeah, I got to see this. Conclave just caught me. And I'm like, hey, what is this movie about? It's intriguing, the name. So I had to see it, and that's why I made number three, because it lived up to the hype. Civil War definitely lived up to the hype, and The Substance outlived the hype. Like I say, the end is kind of over the top. It's kind of over the top, but outside of that, that is a great movie. It will freak you out. Mr. Mahdi, Back Row Ministry, peace and haggeries.